Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm back today with like a triple threat movie review. Now, on the thumbnail that my good friend Tony Talent made for me, awesome thumbnail he made for me, he couldn't find the film Cheesy Horror Volume 1, but it's kind of like a non-film type thing. So, I mean, which is fine. I mean, I can do, I can still review it. I'm going to review it in the order in which I saw them. First I saw Holidays, then I saw St. Vincent, then I saw Cheesy Horror Volume 1 last night. Stayed up all night. And first of all, the first two movies are on Netflix. And the first one is Holidays, and it's an anthology film. Now, when we talk about the world of horror, one of my favorite things is the anthology series, which is a bunch of different stories into certain context. Just like one of my favorites is Creepshow. And I like Creepshow 2. Creepshow 3 is an abomination. It's not. I mean, another company bought Laurel. Tourists bought Laurel Entertainment when they went out of business, and they did their own Creepshow 3. Creepshow 3 is the worst. But Creepshow 1 and 2 are really good. But I mean, the first one's the best. The second one's all right. But still pretty decent, especially compared to Creepshow 3, which is a complete piece of garbage. So, let's go into... now I forgot. Going to Holidays. And what this is an anthology series directed by a bunch of different directors, and each one covers a different holiday. Now I have a list of the holidays. I'll tell you what I think of each segment, and then I'll give you a rating as a whole. Because in a way, it's like a bunch of like short films. Because I'm a film judge for the Horror Fest. And it's kind of like a bunch of different directors came together and submitted different ideas for, short films about the holidays. I'll tell you, the first one is Valentine's Day, and I like Valentine's Day real well. I like the way it was shot. It was about this girl that sadly was bullied by these other girls, and and she's in love with a coach. Now, the one screwed up thing is the girls were bullying her. I thought the coach would at least say something. The coach didn't say anything. Now, I think that's a big mistake. They let the girls just do what they want. And, well, I don't want to give away too much. I'll just give you the little hints of the film. That one's really good. I enjoyed that one real well. Then the next one is St. Patrick's Day. It's based on St. Patrick's Day, and it's a very strange film. It just gets weird, and then it gets really stupid. I know if my dad would have saw it, my dad would be shaking his head. Towards the end, it was really it really got dumb. That was one of the weaker ones. And the next one was next one was Easter. And Easter was actually, that's one if you were easily offended, you probably shouldn't watch that one, because that's one that'll probably make a lot of people angry. I don't want to give away what happens, but I mean, very controversial. I like how brave they were to do it that way. I thought it was brilliant, though, but a lot of people get angry with that version of it, with that story. Next one is Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is definitely, I don't know why they went with another thing about pregnancy and rituals involving a pregnancy. I mean, this one didn't work at all. I didn't like it. I liked the original Mother's Day with from Troma. And then the remake of Mother's Day started out predictable, and then it got really mean. I was really shocked at how mean it got. I know my dad said, boy, this is really mean-spirited. I think we saw it in 2014, 2013. And like I said, this is based on, whenever they started doing the slasher genre, after Halloween, they did a whole bunch of movies surrounding different holidays, like Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th, which was a comedy. They did Graduation Day, April Fool's Day, Mother's Day. They did Father's Day in Creepshow. And they did some other ones. And then I remember Mad Magazine did Arbor Day. I remember reading that one. That was pretty good. But like I said, getting back to the story, after Mother's Day, what was the next one? Let me look down. Because sometimes I forgot some of these ones. Oh, Father's Day. It was followed by Father's Day, and it was pretty good. I thought it was neat. I mean, Michael, it was, in a way, it was creepy because it hits, some ways it hits a little close to home. Michael Gross plays this father that this sister who hadn't seen her father in a long time gets this tape player. And the voice on is Mike Gross, and she leads her to this location. I don't want to give away any more. Like I said, these are little short stories. I don't want to give away the big plot twist or anything like that. That one wasn't bad. I mean, it was very predictable. I mean, the story leading up to it was good. The payoff was, I mean, you pretty much got what they were going to say. Halloween was really good, and not as good as the Michael Myers one, but they did a Halloween version there, directed by Kevin Smith, that ended up being really, really funny. But if you have a real dark sense of humor, that was really funny. Or Tale of Revenge, and his daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, was in that too. I was really surprised Kevin Smith directed that. That was a really good one. And I think the next one is probably the best one about Christmas. Seth Green was in that, and they talk about like this Christmas gift called a UVU that shows you. It's like a pair of glasses, like a virtual reality specs or something like that, and you see your own visions and stuff in there, or like what truly is in your head or stuff like that. You see yourself reflected in those glasses. What happened in that film is really good and really brilliant and actually really funny in a very, very dark way. And then next is the New Year's Day, which starts off really slow, and then it has a very kind of an action-packed ending, kind of. I mean, in regards to the subject matter. I mean, I thought that was pretty good. Now, as a whole, I was really surprised that this got 5 stars on Netflix, because usually the horror films get like 2 or 3, and the ones that are really good, they get 2 or 3. It didn't get 5. I don't think it was totally deserving of the 5. I'd probably give it a... I mean, it's a very unusual film. I'd probably give it a very a very mild 7 out of 10. Especially that Mother's Day. I mean, they shouldn't repeat the pregnancy storyline twice in a movie. That's kind of silly. But a very mild 7 out of 10 for holidays. Now, next is St. Vincent. Now, I remember seeing commercials for that. And it's one of those offbeat type quirky comedies that Bill Murray's been in, independent made from the Weinstein Company, because the Weinstein Company formed that company after they left Miramax and Dimension and stuff like that. And it stars Bill Murray. I wish my dad would have been able to see this one, because even though he hates Bill Murray, I think he would have liked this. And Melissa McCarthy's in it. And I'm not a fan of Melissa McCarthy, but I think she did a really great job in it. I give her props. I thought she was fantastic. And her name was Maggie in the movie, which was pretty funny because that's my cat's name. And basically, Bill Murray plays like a real jerk. And he ends up, his neighbors move in, you know, and there's like, his tree gets ruined by the movers and stuff like that. And he's all in it, hits his car, and he's all upset. And then she has a little boy, and he ends up having to watch him because she's at work, and he charged her money for babysitting. And eventually, it's like a thing about a relationship between the boy and Bill Murray, and also her. And there's lots of funny things. He still maintains his jerk status pretty much throughout the film. It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed this one. I guess a full-on 10 out of 10. It's a very effective film. I got to tell my sister about that. I know I talked to Heather about that earlier, and Heather was saying that she really liked it too. She was a big fan. I think she said her twin daughters saw it, I think. I think it's a really good film. It's PG-13, but I wouldn't call it a family film. I think it's PG-13, really leaning towards an R rating. It's like a hard PG-13, because there's some scenes of some sex and some stripping, but no, in like skimpy outfits, but no nudity, and then, you know, some 4-letter language. I think it's a very hard PG-13, leaning towards R. But St. Vincent's is a great movie. I give that full on 10 out of 10. Now, next is, I went to TubiTV on my Roku. Well, I saw Netflix on my Roku, too, and I saw Cheesy Horror Volume 1 from Cheesy Flicks. And what this is a series of trailers for horror films. Now, I bought a whole bunch of those, I know, when I was in the Army. And even in the early 90s. And then it seemed like they repeat themselves. They just show the same old ones you've seen before, so I don't get them anymore. Or I don't think they even make them anymore. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about that is, you know, I was really impressed that they showed a bunch of ones I'd never seen before, like Curse of the Undead. I'd never seen that one. It went to the Western vampire movie, Not Being Fused with Billy the Kid vs. Dracula, which was really good. But this is a black and white one I never even heard of before. And they had some other ones I never heard of before, like The Man Without a Body. Never heard of that one. The problems I had was aside from that, I was prepared to give it a 10 out of 10 because they had stuff I'd never seen before. And then I was waiting for them to show a couple I've seen. Yeah, of course they did, but that's okay. I mean, they had House on Haunted Hill, which I've seen a million times, and also Tales from the Crypt. Not the HBO show, the original movies from the 70s. And I remember seeing that. I mean, I don't, I had no problem with that. And so, I mean, I was still prepared to give it 10 out of 10, but the couple things, negative things about it, because this is kind of like a no-thought thing. They just edited a bunch of stuff in. They had a little title at the beginning that said Cheesy Flicks presents Cheesy Horror Volume 1, and then they go right into the trailers, and at the end it says Cheesy Flicks copyright 2005, right? And it's only 57 minutes. What I didn't like was the editing process. In between each trailer, it would cut off for like a second and then go to the next thing. Usually the things with the trailer would have like a wraparound story, like in Best of Sex and Violence or Mad Ron's Previews from Hell. Those are really good. But this one was different. And like I said, it had like little clips, and that was really annoying, but I was going to let it go. But the one thing that I couldn't let go was that to pad out the running time, they repeated some of the trailers in there. They showed probably one of the least interesting trailers of a really good movie, Roman Polanski's Fiddler's Vampire Killers. They showed that twice. They showed The Abominable Dr. Phibes twice. I like that trailer. And they showed Humanoids from the Deep twice. So, I mean, that's why I have to really detract from that one, because they did that. But it was cool. They ended it with a couple of TV spots. They weren't all trailers. Some of them were TV spots, which are TV commercials. And they had TV spots from My Bloody Valentine and the original My Bloody Valentine, the original Friday the 13th, which I'd never seen before, which was really cool. I was going to give it a 10 out of 10, but because of those flaws, I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. You can't be padding out your running time by repeating. There's plenty of trail that you could show on there. Or just cut it down, make it 45 minutes, 48 minutes. I mean, you could easily find 10 minutes worth of trailers. There's a ton of them out there. But, I mean, don't pad out your running time by showing the same trailer twice. And, I mean, cause anyone who would have bought that would have felt cheated. I mean, I saw on TubiTV, which was nice, but they had commercial breaks in it, but I saw it for free. So there you have it. I give that a 7.5 out of 10. So you have for my reviews of Holidays, St. Vincent, and Cheesy Horror Volume 1. I hope you really like this movie review triple threat. And special thanks to my friend Tony for making me an awesome thumbnail. It was fantastical. I really liked it. So until next time, like I said, take care of my Legion.